So I was in the prayer room the other day at church, and God started talking to me about something specific, as He likes to. Somewhere, I guess the thought must have crossed my mind of struggle or something, of there's always a struggle or something like that. And so He starts giving me this vision, I guess, of climbing the mountain, hills and valleys, and climbing the mountain is the struggle, and then being on the top is you've succeeded and you've won, and then the valley is, I don't know, some people consider the valley the bad place. I think I like the green grassy valley, but I don't know. So the vision is I'm struggling up the mountain and, climbing, and it's hard, and I trip and I fall, with the struggle, the struggles of life, the huge struggles that you hit, that you climb through. That's the mountain, right? And you struggle and you heave and you haul yourself up this mountain, and if you make it to the top of this struggle, because hopefully no struggle lasts forever. Hopefully you eventually get to the top. You get to the top. And it's a huge relief, and it's amazing, and just, wow, God, you got me through that, and we got through that, and I did that. I just climbed that mountain. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. And then, this getting to conquer the struggle is nice, but it's about learning something, because the next mountain's going to be taller and harder. That same mountain shouldn't be the same level of difficulty for you again, because you learned some lesson climbing up it that makes that struggle easier to handle the next time. Like a life example, I learned how to not fight people. I did that mountain. I climbed the mountain of grief. I climbed the mountain of anger, whatever struggle is. That mountain, you shouldn't ever have to climb that mountain that rough again. You should be able to frolic up it, or at least, walk gracefully up it next time. So I'm at the top of the mountain in this vision, and just, God, you're amazing. We got to the top. I can do anything with you. And then the vision goes to the next mountaintop. There's a next mountaintop. And I was like, okay, well, there's another one. Take a breath and enjoy this for a second. I'll get a nice walk through the valley, and then there's another mountaintop. We're going to go up over there. I have just recently learned, my pastor recently said that we die when we got baptized and went into the water. We died into Him. We died into Jesus. So in that worship that day when he said that, I got this amazing image of, I've always thought about He's a flame inside of me, and I'm trying to stoke the flame and stoke the flame and and force that flame to be big enough and bright enough to explode out of me, to exude out of me, and surround me and touch the others around me. And I've been looking at it wrong the whole time. Yes, He's a flame inside of me, but I died into Him. So now I just have this image that I just put Him on, like the Bible says we put Him on like an outer garment. And that always sounds like a coat, but that's the best words that I can come up with either when thinking about this. I put Jesus on like a mascot outfit. You completely surround yourself. Your head is covered. You've got this thick padding of Jesus's presence around you. And that automatically was put on you as soon as you came up out of that water. You came up living inside of Him. So instead of me having to make this flame come out of me, I live inside of it. It surrounds me. It clothes me. It is my outer garment. It is my outer layer. And Jesus is as big as He dang well wants to be. And so my outer layer, my outer garment is Jesus and His presence. And it can be as big as I want it to be, or I let it be, which has been a crazy way of looking at things, and it's been so freeing. And so whenever I'm struggling with something, I just replay the image of putting Him on as my outer garment. There's no struggle here. I reside inside of Him, and He is my outer layer. How could anything get through that? And He's on fire inside of me. there's no room left for negativity there. There's no room left for any evil to sneak in there. Anyways, so I'm at the top of this mountain, and I'm like, okay, take a rest, because there's always going to be a bigger mountain to climb. And then God said, but remember how you put me on like an outer layer? And I got the image. I just get to fall back into him, and he surrounds me as an outer layer. And then we glide down the mountain through the valley on this beautiful, relaxing trip. And when we get to the base of the next mountain to climb, he just kind of rides us up it, because he is my outer layer. The boulders can't touch me. The stepping and the walking and the climbing and the environment and the dust and the snakes and the weather and the heat and nothing can touch me, because I've got this outer garment on that blocks everything. So starting at the base of the next mountain, I get to just glide up it. And that's what that struggle's going to look like. What? It's mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. My job, my part of the struggle is just to choose to keep looking at him and keep trusting him. God, my job is to just say, this mountain's not that big. My king's got this. Nothing can touch me. I got the flame inside of me protecting my heart. I got the outer garment around me protecting the rest of me, and everything in between. My only job, my only struggle in this is to learn whatever it is we're learning from. A new flex, a new muscle, a new way of trusting him. That's what I get to learn, is just a new way of trusting him. The struggle doesn't have to be hard. And my mind is just blown in this vision, and that's not even the mind-blowing part of the vision. Hi, Willie Bell. Hi. So we get to the top of the next one, which I've basically just floated there, like rolled there or something. And like the heavens are singing in the angelic choir. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. God, really? These struggles don't have to be crazy? So I had to move the phone so she didn't eat it. Do you eat my phone? Yes, you do. So we're on the next mountaintop, and I was like, all right, God, what's the next mountaintop? Let's go to the next one. That was amazing. This is amazing. This is amazing. I want to do another one and another. Let's go climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Let's go conquer. Let's go conquer all of them. I can't wait to conquer all the mountains, because this is easy now that I know that I don't have to outward struggle. It doesn't have to be as much of a struggle as it's always been. The internal is the only part I'm responsible for, and he's even on fire living in there. Okay, I'll give you a cracker. I got it. So then we're on the top of this mountain, and I'm looking at the next one, and God's like, yeah, let's go to that one. So I'm we're going to go, glide down this one into the valley, and we just hop. Just frolic. We just hop one step up to the next mountaintop, and we're there. And then we frolic to the next mountaintop. And here I am, just frolicking from mountaintop to mountaintop, which isn't all that crazy of an image, except that each one of those mountaintops is a humongous struggle that could have been a year or two long struggle in my life. Excuse me, ma'am. Where are you taking that whole ream of crackers? Willow, I got your crackers right here. They're right there. Can I have those? Thank you. Yours are right here. You don't need a whole package. You're not a fatty fat. Thank you. So then I'm just frolicking from mountaintop to mountaintop, and these mountaintops are these huge struggles that in my life have been horribly hard to handle. So then I'm getting to just accept this new knowledge that these struggles don't have to be this way anymore, because I've learned, because I'm learning, because he's showing me, oh my gosh, this is huge. So I'm just frolicking around above the clouds on these mountaintops, piece of cake hanging out in his presence. And all I gotta do is keep my eyes on him. And then the mountaintops disappear, and I'm just frolicking on clouds and on nothingness at this point. And I'm like, okay, God, what does that mean? Because, nothingness. This is great. Flying's great. But what does that mean? And he's like, there are truths that you don't even know. Like each mountaintop is a truth that you've learned, is a lesson that you've learned, a truth, a bit of knowledge that you've learned getting up there, which is what makes the next one easier. Is you've already learned this. I already know how to be strong in this area or whatever. So each mountaintop is a truth that you've learned or work on learning or whatever. So now I'm frolicking on invisible truths. I'm like, what does that mean, God? It means that even if it looks like it's impossible to be true, it's not possible to have a truth there. That truth isn't possible. You can't raise a dead, stinky guy from the dead and it just be okay. And he says, well, why not? Because, when I was raised from the dead, it said like 100 other saints or something were shaken from their tombs and they walked the earth for a while too. That verse is kind of just thrown in there. Like it's no big deal. Oh, so 100 other saints and prophets and stuff that have been dead for who knows how long, because it didn't specify who. But I'm pretty sure 100 other prophets hadn't just died in the last 4 days. So Lazarus was just the tip of the iceberg as far as waking up dead, stinky people. God's like, impossible truths. Like, it doesn't matter how long you've been dead. Remember those dry, dead bones? Yeah, that's a person. I got this. Get out. Just step aside. I got this. So I'm frolicking on invisible truths because I now know the knowledge that he is my outer garment and he carries me everywhere. And my only job is to keep looking at him. What an easy job. That's all I have to do, is to keep my eyes on him and focus on him and trust him and love him. I could do that. I love doing that. That's my favorite thing. Oh my gosh. So then yesterday I'm talking to a housemate and Proverbs 3:6 comes up. It has been my life verse for a long time, and I studied it I'm going to get a tattoo of it. And so I studied it closely to figure out what I wanted the wording to be, because everything's got a different translation. So I'm looking at the Hebrew words and studying everything. And in all your ways acknowledge him and he will make your path straight. That's the the general translation. In all your ways acknowledge him. That word acknowledge. That's the word yade, I think is how it's pronounced. It looks like yada in Hebrew. That's the word that Adam knew Eve, and Jesus came so that we would know the Father. That same concept. Knowing somebody intimately, deeply. In the interpretations, in the translations, the word acknowledge wasn't in any of the definitions, nor was it even a synonym offered for the word know. In all your ways, know him. In all your ways, know him intimately and deeply. Know everything that he will let you know about him. Know that he is your outer garment, and know that you can trust him fully 100%. Know in all your ways, in every bit of you. Know him intimately. Reserve no part of you away from him. Don't keep your fear safe from knowing him, because you don't need your fear. Don't say, yeah, we know him in this part, but we don't really want to know about, bringing people back from the dead. In all your ways, in everything that you are, know him deeply and intimately, and he will straighten your path. And the word straighten is straighten, make something crooked straight, or take bumps, smooth out your path. That literally means know him intimately and deeply, and he will literally smooth and straighten your path. So my huge Rocky mountain range of struggles for the rest of my life was just smoothed out and into this perfect little frolicking on clouds where there weren't even mountaintop stepping stones to hit anymore. I'm just frolicking on nothing. Because I learned something new about him. And another way that I was able to, I acknowledged him completely, learned something new about him. knew him more deeply, and my path was just straightened out in that one sense for the rest of my life, which is mind-blowing. So when I started this, the thought randomly crossed my mind of, I wonder if we're on a hill or a valley right now. I feel like it's a hill, but I'm okay. I trust him, and we're mentally stable, and so maybe it's a valley. I don't know. And then that vision started of the just him showing me stuff, and so we make the full circle back around to that thought of struggles and hills and valleys, and it's not supposed to be hills and valleys. It's not supposed to be an undulation of up and down, as the Screw Tape Letters put it. That it's this undulation of having good times and bad times. Our path is smooth as we know him more intimately, and we don't have undulations of I'm in a good season and I'm in a bad season, because if you know him Yaday, then nothing can affect you in that negative way that makes it a horrible struggle. It's a fun lesson to learn. So then I ended that little bit of learning with Abba saying, these aren't mountains to climb. I'm literally asking for this. I've been asking for the last 25 years. Abba used me, forged me, let me go through whatever forging you want me to go through to be the weapon, the tool, the weapon that you want and that you need. Over and over and over. And great, that forging was fun. Let's do it again. Wait, let's perfect this some more. Let's do another set of folded steel. Let's do another one and another one. Okay, cool. We made it through that one. Time for another one. Keep forging me until I look like what you want me to look like. These mountaintops aren't struggles to be scared of. This life isn't a struggle to be scared of, oh, woe is me, it's hard, and then it'll get easy for a while, and then it'll get hard, and that just is life, and that's just the truth of life, and we just have to accept it. No, I am so excited. I'm like, God, not only have you smoothed my path to where these mountaintops are a piece of cake now, but each one is a forging. So now I'm like, what one can we do now? Because I've just gotten a new level of trusting him. Now, does this mean I'm never going to find myself in a struggle to get to a mountaintop again? Unfortunately not, because this is just my next level of learning. I've learned the next step. And then the next step is going to be way more complicated than I have learned anything to be prepared for yet. And then I'll have to struggle through that step of whatever we're learning next, of how to raise people that have been dead for 100 years. Take turns. I'll let you know how that one goes, because I'm sure it's coming eventually. We're going to start with, hey, you're about to die, and we're going to pray for your healing, and it's going to go away. And then we'll work on the dead for an hour, and then we'll work on dead for 100 years. That's a whole nother mountain range that we'll be frolicking through one day.